Hello, all. Let's get this started. Now, July is that month when all faculty members start hearing these questions from the students, which is my score is getting stuck. There is a lot of problem that I'm facing. I'm very underconfident at this point in time. What to do? I've been hearing those questions a lot now. So I thought I'll create this video to address that question. The way in which I'm going to address that question is to understand phases of learning, and and just tell you that the whatever that you're feeling now, the issues that that you're encountering now, it's just a phase of learning. I'm going to use a model it was created in the 1970s. This is called the conscious competence model of learning. That's a model. I'm going to use this model to help you understand these phases of learning and the challenges that you could face in each of these phases, and how is that you can navigate those phases of learning. Okay, so this conscious competence has got these 4 stages. So on one hand, you have got consciousness, which is my awareness. The awareness could be low, or the awareness could be high. I'm aware that I've got some skills. I'm not aware that I don't have skills, or I'm aware that I don't have skills. So one is awareness or consciousness. Another is your skill set. Maybe you've got a low skill set, or maybe you have a high skill set, a low competence or high competence. So when you start off any skill development, start with this phase, which is called unconsciously incompetent. What that means is that I don't know that I don't have that skill. I don't know, or I'm unaware that I don't have a skill. You can look at anything that you did, okay, any skills that you develop before the start of it. There are a lot of things I don't know about what is required to ace in that particular activity, right? And and I'm not aware what skills are required, and I'm not aware what skills I don't have. I'm not aware of these things. So probably when you started your preparation for CAT, you really did not know that is the skill set required to, let's say, do well in data interpretation and logical reasoning section, and you are not aware that specific skill set you don't have. Now, I'm sure that quickly we get to this stage number 2. Stage number 2 is consciously incompetent. This is a stage when we start being aware, we know that we don't have these skills, and this is an important phase. It's a temporary phase, but it's an important phase of learning, which this is when you take a stock of the skill set that is required and the skill set I don't have. And typically what happens here in this phase from a CAD perspective is when you start taking this mock test. And I know some of you, before, let's say, your preparation, you thought that my biggest challenge is maths. I've always been a good reader, so English should not be a problem. Verbal, I can manage. I don't know how to deal with maths. And then you're fighting hard to handle maths. Then you take a mock test. Suddenly you see that your VRC score tanked. You're like, what? You're looking at paragraph jumble and going, how do I do this? You're looking at odd sentence question and going, how do I find out the odd sentence? You look at this passage, which is on, let's say, some social science topic, and you're reading the passage halfway through the topic, you're almost going, how do I navigate these kind of passages? Maybe in DLR, you've got this one question, you're just staring at this question, not knowing how to move. In maths, you're just clicking the button next, 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 next. And at this point, you're saying that, oh my God, I don't know stuff. 2 things will happen in this phase. You will either continue your journey to stage number 3, or some people just give up. Now, many skills, when you start learning, right? Imagine, why did you give up certain things? Why did you give up your gym? Because you realize, this is not going to work out for me. This is not going to happen. We just give it up. It's not bad. I mean, it's not necessary that you should pick up every skill available. But from a perspective of CAT, I need to move to this level. Therefore, this stage is important. What may be also happening, that there are some of you, we are in the month of July, there are some of you who have not even taken one mock test. And we are probably, without knowing, we are still here. We've got some assumptions at this point in time about our competence. And this is, we are not even aware of them. So if you have not taken any mock test, and we are in the month of July, okay, let's quickly get to this stage. Because I'm telling you, the day you take the mock test, whenever it is, the first day you take the mock test, you're going to sit and go, what is this? And you might even, so there are many students that I know who are just studying. They're diligently studying, right? They're doing going through classes, maybe attending every single lectures, and they have not taken one test. They have not taken a test. And let's say that this was going for about let's say 3 months, fighting very hard, and then eventually takes that mock test, and then goes, oh God, what was it doing for all this time? Is it waste? These are not waste, right? You have this is a phase, and you must understand this is a phase, right? It is also a phase. It is in phase number two. It's your confidence is going to tank. Your confidence is going to tank. It's like this. When you start on the journey, you don't know stuff. When you don't know things, you be very confident. Like we're not aware. In stage number one, typically my confidence level. So if let's say I put confidence and knowledge as a graph here, right? And in the initial stage, my confidence level is amazing. I can do this. And then it's going to tank. It may be reach a point where you say that, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. You'll reach the point, and that will happen in this stage. Now, for me to start moving from this stage number three, it is absolutely important that I analyze this test. And what do I mean by analysis? When I take any test, this has to go with not just the mock test, every single so topic test that you're taking, section test that you're taking, or class test that you're taking, and simple test that you're taking. It's important to give feedback to yourself. And you're going to make a lot of mistakes, which is okay. Mistakes are great because mistakes help you learn. It's fine. It's fine if you're still struggling, because struggle is good, because struggle is what actually gives you learning. Right? So what you do with respect to mock test is absolutely simple. You've got in the mock test, under the timed version of the test, there are some questions, let's say that you got correct, some questions that you did not get wrong, and some questions that you did not solve. It's going to happen. Right. Now, it is absolutely important for us to understand why these two things happen. Then only we can start asking the question as to what are the skill set I need. It's so easy to people typically say that I just want to study more, right? That's an immediate thing. So my score is very low. I want to study more, but study what? Study how? So the important thing that you have to take is you have to retake. Before even look at any sort of solution, you go through the questions once again. Now, you will realize something else here. What might happen here in this, everything is going to have sort of two cases. The questions that you got correct is still correct, okay? But there may be certain questions which are fluke. I think that you're not, maybe I guessed it. Maybe you took a wild guess on this particular question. Certain questions are fluke. And those questions that you got wrong, when you relook at it, you say that, okay, now I'm getting them correct. So maybe I would have made some silly mistakes. Okay. But there are certain questions that is still incorrect. I thought I had that skill, or I thought I can solve that question. I went in and did that particular question, but even now I just don't know. And there are these questions for whatever is the reason that I did not solve. And those questions, I have let's say in some of the questions, I got the question correct. What does it tell me? It's a missed opportunity for me. It's a missed opportunity. And there might be still question that you're not aware of. Right? So now we have a completely different story. We have these three ticks now. Earlier I had just one tick, one set of ticks. Now I'm going to have more. What that means is that my test score and my target, while there's a gap, there is also something in the middle. If I call this A, if I call this B, if I call this C, and this A plus B plus C as a score, I'm just going to call it my औकात score. मेरा औकात क्या है? ये है मेरा औकात. Now, which tells us these two gaps. I've got this one gap and I've got this other gap. This gap is my knowledge, right? Issue with my knowledge, which means that I put in my effort, I still have to learn more. This gap is something else. This gap in the this is my level of knowledge here. But the examination, I did not reach that level, right? So this is something that I know for some reason I did not do this well. So let's just call it my execution issue. I did not execute the test really well. Now the remedy for this is very different from the remedy for that. Very different. Here you have to ask yourself, why is it? So what behavior was it? So here I need to have a skill set, which is my test taking skills. I have to improve on that. What are my behavior? What is that I'm doing in the test? What are the things that I need to change? Why am I getting stuck in a question? Why did I spend a lot of time in this particular question? Are there other, okay, I read this passage twice. Why did I read this passage twice? What was the issue? How did I miss that? How did I miss this? How did I make these mistakes? That is one. Here, okay, these are the areas that I need to improve, because if I don't, some of these areas, if I don't improve, then there's an issue. And this is an important part. And this is important that you do this analysis. This is important because we will be in this stage of consciously incompetent, which is a good place to be. Now, here is where, because you are here, I'm guess many of you may be somewhere in this journey. That is why this you asking this question to yourself. I don't think I can do it. But all I have to do is stick around and go to the next stage, which is the stage known as consciously competent. Now, let me explain what this stage means. My score is improving. Okay, my sort of confidence is slightly increasing, right? So, okay, I can handle this. I can handle this. So you had a problem, let's say, with paragraph jumble question. You figure out a way. Okay, I cannot solve all it, but at least out of, let's say, 3 questions, I can get in on a good day 2 questions correct. Earlier, I was sticking at 0. Okay, DLR set, I could hardly solve 1 sort of set. Now I can solve 2. In maths, out of the 22 questions given to me, earlier I was just solving about 4. Okay, now I can solve about 8, 10. But at least if I get a little more time, I can solve more. But the key thing is that competence is conscious, which is still not natural. I still have to consciously put in effort. Means if I'm reading the passage, I still have to be conscious. I have to be there. I cannot be zoning out. If I'm doing a DLR set, I still have to focus on this question. It's not effortless at this stage. Okay, so maybe I'm reading a question, so math question. I still have to focus. Okay, what is this? Okay, what is this? Okay, this is okay. Selling price, cost price. Okay, fine. So okay, I remember this formula. Okay, let me put this down on the piece of paper. Let me focus on this. It doesn't come sort of naturally, but this is a great phase to be in. Now here, typically, let's imagine a few things that could happen in this stage. Let me, for example, take the case of reading comprehension as an example, right? Let's say you've got a passage which has got multiple paragraphs. Let's say 4 paragraphs. Paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3, paragraph 4. And in some cases, I am reading this passage, continuous reading the passage. Somewhere in the middle of the 3rd paragraph, I'm going, what did I just read? What did I read? Sometimes you zoned out. Right? Suddenly, okay, am I reading this? Right? Oh, okay. You know that if you put a little bit of focus, you can get some questions correct. But somehow you have to be consciously, you have to put in that effort. Okay, you have to put in focus. Therefore, you have to think about remedies to this, right? What is sort of the remedy that I can have? One remedy is that after reading, let's say 1 paragraph, let me take a pause and reflect on what that paragraph just told me. What is the idea of the paragraph? Just take a pause. Think about, okay, this paragraph is telling me this. Go to the 2nd paragraph. Then take a pause and reflect on what is the 2nd paragraph telling me. Go here and reflect on this and reflect on it and just reflect on what the passage is and then move to the question. At least you know that, okay, I'm putting the effort. And when you look at each of this question, when you read the question, and then you look at each of these answer choices, you're looking for each answer choice. Okay, I want to find out, Is there any problem with this answer choice? Okay. Is there any issue with respect to this particular option? Okay, there is an issue. There is an issue. So you have to do this. In paragraph jumble, for example, you have to now, okay, I'm going to read these 4 sentences first. Okay, now let me look at some sentence that does not need support. Or maybe you have got some certain plan of action. You're trying to have a process. You have a sort of process A, 1, 2, 3, 4 steps that you want to take. Maybe when it comes to DLR set, I need to ensure that everything is sort of neatly written on a piece of paper. I probably will have to go through the passage and sets and figure out which is the set that I think I can manage first. I don't have the sort of the confidence to just handle and pick up any set and start solving it. I have to make a decision first. Okay, I've got this particular set. Let me in a focused manner write stuff down in need basis. When I'm, for example, solving QA, I have to be careful. There are some topics I still have issues with, some topic I can manage. For those topics, I still cannot solve the difficult question. I'm aware of this. Okay, let me just look at this question. Okay, I understand this question. Let me carefully pick this one down. Just have to put in that effort, right? And when you reflect back on your mock test, and think about this B, which means I initially got it wrong, but now I'm getting it right. But largely because I am in the stage number 3, but I did not put a conscious effort with respect to that question. Usually, that's that problem B. Let's so the next time, okay, so I can get this right. I don't know how I got it wrong. So I missed something from here. I was not focusing on it. I read the passage quite fast. I did not understand the passage. I should have this passage was manageable. I could have understood the passage and if I could have answered this question. This DLR said, I don't know. I just missed this one line. I don't know why that particular thought did not come to my mind. This was easy. I could have put this number here. I could have put this fellow here. And these kind of things, these questions where you simply missed it out. Why did you miss it out? Okay, so it means that either I looked at the question, I thought I cannot solve it. I didn't put that effort in terms of looking at the question and reading the question. I just looked at the question and left it. Or maybe I simply did not have time. I was spending time in some other question. So you a lot of this behavior or execution gap, the behavior, if you have got huge amount of execution gap, that roughly tells me that you are in this particular stage, but in the exam period of view, your competence is still conscious competence, which means you have to be in it, right? And then when that happens, then we move to the stage number 4, unconsciously competent. Now this has become second nature. I can get up and do stuff. I can handle this. I'm reading the passage. I know the flow. I don't have to sort of pause in between and then reflect on what is paragraph number 1. It's getting in my head. I just naturally understand stuff. When I'm solving, you might look at how GP sir solves a jugaad solution. I'm sure that you have watched a lot of this video. It's now second nature to him. You look at it, I know this. Answer choice is B, jugaad. And you look and go, how is he doing it? He's doing it because he has gone through this stage. This 4th stage. And this is where my confidence grows. I'm back to that confidence with a lot of knowledge. This is like, okay, I'm very comfortable. We may not be in this stage for it is possible maybe in one area or one sub area. It may still be that I'm until the end of the CAT I'm still here. That is probably what is going to happen. I'm going to reach this stage, which is fine. This is good enough for us. This stage is good enough for me to crack the test, right? So it's fine, right? But the issue is that I'm standing. I am here. I can see a lot of this problem, and I'm simply sitting, being very angry, or I'm being very sad. I'm maybe crying. Okay, all that emoji is working here. Because I'm very angry. Sorry. Okay. Sure. What is the wrong emoji, Andrew? We just said this is a temporary phase. Right? As we move on, it's going to take time. We still have what we have got Let's start. We've got full month of August, we've got full month of September, we've got time to understand the specific skills, which then goes back to say that this mock test and taking the mock test, analyzing the mock test is the thing that is going to give you feedback. And you list down, okay, so then you can go back and say, okay, this is something that I want to address. I'm going to address this. I'm going to do this work. Everything that you do in your life, you've gone through this stage. Everything. Remember the time when let's say you're driving, right? If you started with this, I don't know how does a car look like. I know it, but I don't gear, but I don't know how to, let's say, move the leg. There are three stuff there: brake, clutch, gear. I've got only two legs. So initially, when you sit in the car, then you realize, okay, oh, okay. Initially, you did not know that you do not have those skills. But when you start driving, you be in this phase. And then you move to consciously competent phase. Okay, I have to be a little careful. I just have to be conscious about what I'm doing. And when I'm driving the car, I just have to be very conscious. I have to be very conscious. And now I'm sure that you are in this stage. It happens naturally. You don't know why. It is second nature to you. So this we all want to be in this particular phase, right? In lot many things that we do, we may not reach this level. This is a level when you can actually teach others. You can impart learning to others. We're probably going to be here, and some of you in some sections are here in number 4, but we can be here. So we can be here. So what that means is that in a test, you need to have a nice, good test taking skills. Your strategy has to be in place. So that these behaviors that is happening because you are in stage number 3. You are consciously competent, but you're not keeping a conscious sort of effort when you're taking the test, right? And then you slowly increase your knowledge, study more. Any concept can be learned. No topic in maths is difficult. Is that you have to spend time on it. And it's not the DLR stuff. You have to spend time on it, and I'm sure that you're putting those effort, and continue to do that effort. And I understand the pains that you're going through. I understand you want to actually talk to people and find out solution to it. But I'm just saying, this is just a temporary phase. This phase will have, in this phase here, from here, you might you keep on realizing new things. You realize, okay, I have this problem, I had that problem. In this journey, you could keep on going to realize the issues. You're going to make mistake. It is okay. You learn from those mistakes. And I just put in effort, right? Just continue doing effort. Know that you can conquer it. Know that this can happen. CAT can be conquered. You have the ability to do it. Just go through the phases and enjoy the process. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you for watching this. Good.